We're going back more than 160 years in time, and this guy, Hamish Linklater, has very tall shoes to fill. He's our tallest president, and he's in Apple TV Plus's new limited series, Manhunt. So, what is Manhunt about?
Uh, Manhunt is about the 12-day pursuit of Lincoln's assassin, John Wilkes Booth, and the conspiracy that Booth was a part of to bring down the federal government.
And you have the pleasure, privilege, whatever you want to call it, to play Abraham Lincoln. What was it like getting cast in this kind of role?
Well, it was awfully scary at first and throughout, but it was a terrific privilege and responsibility to get to play such a national hero and also, of course, a personal hero.
Yeah. And people that have played him in the past, there's a long list. Henry Fonda, Hal Holbrook, obviously Daniel Day-Lewis, who won the Oscar, and now Hamish Linklater. You are just so immersed in this project, and it's so great to see you in it. What's it like being alongside those screen legends as well?
Well, I'm just a massive fan of all those names and many more who've just, I mean, phenomenal actors who all had the, privilege of playing this phenomenal human being. It's just, it's wonderful just to hear their names aloud.
Yeah. And you are completely unrecognizable in this in the best way possible, both physically and for your transformative performance. What was it like bringing this character to the screen?
Well, I had the great privilege of working with just phenomenal makeup artists, phenomenal wardrobe artists, hair, everything. We had, 3.5 hours every morning to put Lincoln on me and to catch up on what we had watched on TV the night before and what we'd had for breakfast. And by the end of that process, Lincoln would sort of walk out of the, or my Lincoln would anyway.
And unfortunately, this is a sad story for Lincoln as we're following John Wilkes Booth along his path after he assassinates Abraham Lincoln. What would you like audiences to take away from this as your Lincoln?
Well, I think it's a story that we might think we know. There's a very famous actor killed the president all of a sudden. Timothy Chalamet's brother killed the president. Edwin Booth was the most famous actor in America at the time, and his little brother killed the president. That's a shocking enough story. What's even more shocking is that he was one of 3 assassins sent out that night. They went for the vice president and the secretary of state as well. And their effort was to reverse the results of the Civil War. I had no idea about this, the whole conspiracy of it. And the series is told at a breakneck thriller's pace. Who done it? And the whodunit just blossoms episode by episode.
It really does. Whether you watch it all in one sitting, whether you watch it week by week as it rolls out, I can't wait for people to see Manhunt. Thanks so much, Hamish. Lovie Simone, you will definitely want to remember that name because she is the true heart and soul of Apple TV Plus's new limited series. So tell us more about your character in Manhunt.
I play Mary Sims. She is a very educated, well-respected, for the time, Black woman who also testified in the Lincoln assassination trial. And the stuff that she saw and the stuff that she told was very big moving pieces for that trial.
It absolutely was. And you share a lot of scenes with Matt Walsh, who we know and love from Veep, but we don't love his character in this. So yes. What was it like working with him?
It was really nice. It was very a very different role for the both of us to play. I'm used to playing very dominant roles, and I know that he's very used to the comedic realms. So it was very different for both of us. But I think because we were both in such different realms, there was like a respect that was like, okay, you're gonna go and do that, and I'm gonna go and do this, and we're just gonna have fun. So it was very nice playing with him.
That's awesome to hear. What did you know about Mary Sims before you took on this role?
I didn't know anything at all about Mary Sims. I didn't know of her existence, and that does make me a little sad because there is a lot of other people whose lives that I will never come across in any type of page or form or file written about them because their life was not respected or seen to be respected or remembered. So that's why I also really wanted to tell Mary Sims' story.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's such a role that everyone needs to know, and we all know Abraham Lincoln was assassinated at the theater, but what we don't know is the manhunt, literally the manhunt it took to hunt down this John Wilkes Booth, and your character, I hope I'm not spoiling anything, but your character being a big light in getting him convicted, and well, we'll leave that to the audience, but what was it like being a part of this amazing show?
It was very nice. It was very different for me because I've never expected myself to do a period piece, only because people who look like me in period pieces often like go through a lot of trauma. But I do appreciate how in this show specifically, there was none of the trauma that I expected to be like thinking about, more so than like moments of fear that turned into freedom essentially. So it was just a lot more of like that being transmuted.
And you bring up such a great point in that, yes, people live during this time and they go through all this trauma, but it doesn't have to always be shown on screen in these graphic and terrible ways. What do people need to take from something like this?
Yeah, I do think that there can be stories told without the way that they have been in the past. Like, I don't think period pieces or historical pieces have to be boring. Like, this is very much not your typical, like, here's history. You know, it's like, here's these people and here's what they did and this is what came from what they did. So I would say that for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much for your incredible performance, your time. I can't wait for people to see Manhunt starting March 15th on Apple TV+.
Yes, thank you.